Good morning. How are you today? Welcome to our summer sunrise yoga from the Hamptons with Sally. I'm so glad that you're here this morning. We're back in the studio today in Bridgehampton because it's kind of misty out there and scattered showers, so I didn't want to risk my equipment out in the rain. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be at Gibson Beach and we'll continue our series. I hope you're doing well today. Let's start to let the mind start to settle by breathing deeply through the nostrils, keeping the mouth closed. Lengthen the back of the neck. You know that little bone back there? That's the occipital bone. Push that up towards the sky. Take a big inhalation with your mouth closed. And gently open your eyes and switch your legs. If you didn't have the strange leg in front, go on ahead and switch that strange leg in front so you start to rebalance your body from all these years of sitting with it the other way unconsciously. All right, let's come into a very tall position. Take your fingertip, put it on your hip bone right here, and then your thumb on the bottom of your rib cage. And let's stretch that area right there. That L1 through 5, let's give that a nice stretch. Before we even start our meditation, we're going to be thinking of that spine, lengthening the back of the head. Yeah, sitting up very, very tall. Nice. Doesn't it feel great? Okay, bringing the hands into Namaskar Mudra, prayer position. And maybe lift the corners of the mouth slightly, the corners of the eyes, just to sort of, start your day with a pleasant little half smile. Can you hold this smile or keep this smile on your face for the next 30 minutes? Let's see. Maybe that could be the challenge, is to just smile and see what happens in your day if you started off with a smile. And I invite you to experience some silence with me. And rubbing the hands together, warming up the palms, bring the warm palms over the closed eyes. Inhale deeply through the nostrils, lengthening the lower spine and the back of the neck as you exhale through the nostrils. Inhale again through the nostrils and open the eyes behind the palms, circling the eyes to the right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the eyes, relax the eyes. Inhale deeply through the nostrils. Sitting up very tall, lengthening the lower spine, lengthening the back of the neck. And open the eyes again behind the palms. This time we're going to circle to the left. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the eyes, relax the eyes. Inhale deeply through the nostrils, lengthening the spine, really tall, feeling those sit bones press down into the earth and lengthening the top of the head away from the base. And gently open your hands and open your eyes. All right. Congratulations. The hard work is over. You made it here. Really, what is that? 90% of life is showing up. I think that's it. Just get there and do your best. All right. So let's start with a side stretch. We're going to take the hand on the right side of your body and then see if you can put your elbow down on the ground. Now, your hips may come up. Let's do a little teeter-totter like that. And then see if you can keep the hips down And then put that elbow down. You're going to feel a nice stretch on your lower spine. Let's bring the other arm up and over. Our left arm is going to be up, and we're going to look up under that left arm and arch our sternum up, looking towards the sky. And reaching with the left hand to bring us up and over. We're going to go to the other side. Okay, this time we're going to take the left hand and we're going to guide it along the floor. Then see if you can put that elbow down. If you have a little teeter-totter, that's okay. And then see if you can keep the hip down and bring the elbow down. You might be able to do it on one side and not the other. It's interesting, isn't it? But that's a nice big stretch on the side of the body. Feels so good. Okay, and coming back up to center. Let's take the left hand and put it on the right knee. We're going to look over the right shoulder. Even hold your eyes in the right corner of your eye. Hold your eye there. Hold. You're making a spiral from the base of your spine all the way up through your thoracic and neck and shoulder area to your head and then to your eyes. One big twist. And slowly release and come back to this. I love doing these twists. It's so good for the spine. Imagine how much you're oiling up your spine when you give it a good twist. You can do this in your car too. Sometimes I do this. I grab the steering wheel and I look out the back window. That's a good way to get a stretch in if you're driving. Okay, so put this time the right hand on the left knee. You're going to look over the left shoulder. Same thing we did on the other side. Holding the eye in that left corner. Holding it there. And the reason we're doing that is that we're triggering our vagus nerve. And slowly coming back to center. Let's go on ahead and make our easy view with our legs. Rocking the legs in and out. Go on ahead and just let them rock. Feeling that hip socket really warm up. I love doing this every morning because it really helps my hips get nice and juicy for the rest of the day. Now, you can just walk forward with your hands like this if you want to. You could, maybe you're here, but what I'd like to see is just your upper body totally relaxed. I think we might be getting some noise from this. Maybe I'll put this over here for now. Love that mala, so beautiful. Chrysoprase, I think is the name of the stone. Go on ahead and let your upper body just sort of drape. And even I can go farther, but I'm just kind of enjoying this area of stretch today. I'm letting my head dangle, really surrendering into the stretch. My legs are firmly rooted on the ground. My knees are facing the ceiling. Don't have your knees rolling backward. That's no good. Put the knees pointing towards the ceiling. And just kind of root your legs down. And then walk forward if you want to. Whatever feels good to you, my friend. This is your practice. I'm your guide. And you know you better than I know you. Oh, that just feels so good. Let's do it on the right side this time. We're going to take our hands on either side of the leg. Make sure the knee is facing up. Don't have it open like this. We're going to keep the knee facing straight up towards the ceiling and walk forward over the leg and then just drape yourself down there. Make sure that that opposite hip, you want that left hip to still be going back. Don't let this leg roll in like that. Make sure that other hip is firmly rooted on the ground and just drape over the leg. Ooh, that feels so good. Gently, gently saying good morning to our beautiful vessels. It's so funny that like ships are called vessels and our body is a vessel, a holder. It's a holder of something, you know, it's interesting, a vessel. And that's what we've got here, this beautiful gift that we were given. Let's come on to the left side. Same thing. Push that hip back too. You're really going to feel some extra yummy stretch if you keep that other hip back. If you let it roll in like this, you kind of dissipate the points that we're locking down. Those are some variables that we're locking down. We're saying, given, both sit bones shall remain on the floor. Now, we're going to stretch against those hip bones on the ground, locking that down. I remember when I was a kid, I thought a variable was just something that kept changing. I was like, I don't understand variables. I didn't understand it was a container. like it keeps changing whatever in there. It didn't make sense to me. Oh, well. You know, we got all kinds on this planet. It's so great. There's my brother is such an engineer. He's got an engineer mind. So does my brother-in-law. It's like they just have to pick things apart. How does it work? It's their animal. Everybody is so different. It's so funny. All right, let's flex the feet back. We're in a nice stretched legs with the knees facing the ceiling. We're going to flex our feet back, and we're going to just crunch the toes, flex the toes, crunch the toes, flex the toes, crunch the toes, flex the toes. Doesn't that feel great? Crunch the toes, flex the toes. Now we're going to keep the toes flexed and then push the ball of the foot forward. Now we're going to crunch the toes, flex the foot back, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to press the ball of the toe forward with the toes flexed back, crunch the toes, lengthen the toes, crunch, lengthen, crunch, lengthen. Can you do this subtlety? Look at how long your toes are. That's what they taught us in dance. When your leg is like that, make sure the toes extend. You don't want the toes to be cutting off the energy at the end. So you want all the energy to go straight out the leg like that. All right, let's flex the toes back. Let's flex the feet back and do some circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about the feet a little bit. It's so interesting how we have like these muscles and bodies, and we don't even, I did not know that I had a sphenoid, okay? And then I found out I had a sphenoid. This is, if you flex your toes up like this, you're gonna see some, like, see, this is the big toe flexor. It's bringing that toe up like this. And this is the tibialis anterior. And if you keep turning your foot, you're gonna see that it roots underneath the arch of your foot. And this rascal goes across your leg here, and then there's these tendons holding it so it doesn't just spring out like this. So there are all these thick band of tendons around it, or fascia loops here, and then it comes here and it roots on the outside of the leg. And they call this the anatomical stirrup because there's another muscle. These are, when you turn your leg in, your foot in and out, this is what strengthens the foot, and that's what we're gonna be working on today. Let's come on to our standing legs. Let's just go right into that, shall we? And work on our feet. Because feet are so important, right? I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here. Okay, here we go. So let's work on the feet today. We're going to, whoops. We're going to go and you're gonna take your right foot and push the ball of your foot down, but try to push your heel through, like you're trying to push your heel through to the other side of your leg. And then you're gonna roll up onto the toes, roll the toes down, roll the foot down. Let's do it again. Pushing really strongly onto that big toe, and then rolling the toes up, rolling the toes down, and the foot all the way down. Let's do the other side. So this side is going to be your left, and you're going to push the heel forward as high as you can. So you don't want to be here. Push that heel as high up, as high as you could, like you had a 8-inch stiletto heel underneath there. Then you're going to let the toes curl off the ground. Then you're going to curl the toes back down to the ground and roll the foot down. It's kind of hard because the foot just seems like one big chunk, but to imagine that it's rounded and you're slowly moving through the foot, and just look at that miracle. It's a transfer of weight when you're walking, when you're doing these things. Okay, let's do some more foot stuff. Come into a standing position with your feet facing parallel. Now make sure, a lot of people, their heels are kind of in like this. It's kind of a habit. You see how the heels are in there? I want that heel to be right behind the center of my foot. Do you see how this one, the heel is in like this? I want them both, so you might need to move your heel out, maybe just a smidge. All right? And then lift the toes. Let the toes go down, lift the toes. You're gonna feel a triangle underneath your foot. It's the ball of the big toe, the ball of the baby toe, and the heel. It's this triangle right here. That gives you stability. You can feel that? Let the toes come down. Now, let's go like this, and that's those two muscles, the stirrup. One is pulling it in, eversion, inversion, eversion, inversion, eversion, inversion. So that's how they're moving, okay? And you can actually see this tendon working like that. All right, and that's what we need to strengthen so we don't fall and that we have better balance. All right, so we're gonna come on to the left foot right now, and we're just gonna lift the right foot and really play with this balance today, lifting the toes on the standing leg. Woo, renegotiation, right? I was so proud of myself when I was balancing on my one foot and then I lifted my toes. Yeah, it's a lot different when your toes are up, isn't it? Okay, put the toes down. Let's go to the other side. And your whole foot gets activated when you do that. This is a great exercise for strengthening your feet. Let's come on to the left leg now. You're going to lift up that right foot and then see if you can lift the toes of the left foot. See my foot? And the thing is, I'm trusting my foot. I'm just going, foot knows what to do. I'm not going, thinking about my foot so much. Don't think about your foot. Let foot handle it. And those muscles just need to get stronger. And as you do exercises like that, they'll know what to do and they'll get stronger. Let's come back on to the right leg. And this time we're going to take our foot and balance it on the calf. Now you can go here if you're working on your balance, or you can hold on to a wall or something. Do what you need to do, or a chair. Do what you need to do. Maybe you're working on balance. Maybe that's your reason for doing yoga. All right, let's come on to the other leg one more time. Oop. All right, I'm going to show you a trick about balancing, and it works. So you're going to take your hand, you're going to put it on your tummy like this, and you're going to pull your stomach in and then go up at the last minute. So when you pull your stomach in, don't round your back. That's not the point. You're trying to come in towards your spine and then go up. So I'm coming in towards the spine and then up. Once you lock that in, that's called Uddiyana Bandha. It's also called lift in dance. Hold on to that. Then we're going to come on to the right leg and then bring your foot to the calf. Now bring your foot to the thigh. Holding here. Hands in Namaskar Mudra. Find your drishti. Holding on to the tummy. Lifting up. Lift the knee before you set it down with intention. Okay, big difference, right? When you hold the tummy in, because it's connecting your upper and lower bodies. You see that? There's a lot going on up here and there's a lot going on down there. So if you add that lift, it creates a connection. You can imagine tennis players, they do that instinctively. I know they do. They must have that feeling of lift, of Uddiyana Bandha. And Uddiyana means rising up in Sanskrit. I looked it up. It's funny how the two disciplines, and I think, I don't know if Pilates does that too, but Pilates embraces the side breathing, which is a part of yoga too. All right, and hold your tummy in. Let's start it from there. Let's go ahead and let your tummy go. Then pull your tummy in towards your spine, then up. Now we're going to come on to the left leg. We're going to lift the right leg. Keep the tummy going up, 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 up. Keep this, it's so internal, right? It looks like you're doing nothing. But that strength inside there, that's going to help you balance. That's what I'm doing. I'm really holding on to that. I'm not worried about the foot. All right, and go ahead and find your drishti. And lift the knee. And maybe lift it up again and let it go down. That's a good way to balance. Let's talk about a headstand for a second here. And we're not going to do headstand because it's kind of drastic. I'm just going to do you prep for headstand. This is something that's really good to do for an inversion. It's a very good thing. All right, so let me just get zeroed in here. Okay, that's pretty good. Oops. So headstand is kind of scary to most people. And you know what? That's normal because you're putting your head down and your feet up. So that's kind of weird, right? You don't normally do that in regular life. One way to get used to it actually is if you can kind of hang off your bed, sometimes just let your upper body hang off your bed. It'll help you get used to it. Or you could go forward off of your bed and just you have that safety. That's another way of doing it in a very relaxed manner. But let's just talk about doing headstand. And the biggest thing is when I do headstand, I have very little weight on my head, even though it's called headstand. I have the majority, I'd say 80 to 90% of the weight is on my forearms and my elbows. And I'm pushing those down, and my head is kind of suspended under there. So that's what we're going to do, just so you can see this. Oh, come on, a little angle like this, so it makes it a little easier to see. So what you're going to do is you're going to clasp your hands together. You're going to put them on the mat. Now, what you can do, too, to see the distance is to tap your elbows like this. Now, bring your hands like this. This should be an even isosceles triangle. Don't let your elbows go like this. As soon as people go under, they go like this, and their elbows spread. It's really hard to balance on a triangle like this. This is so much easier. So you're also kind of holding your shoulders and your elbows, and you're pressing down on your forearms. And that's all we're going to do. I want you to see this part here. Do you see this? I'm almost like, arching up. Can you do this? And just let your head dangle. But I'm really not, my head is not on the ground. I'm keeping my head up, and I'm really pushing down, push down really hard on your shoulders and your elbows and your forearms, and really push that edge. And now keeping that, aim the head a little bit towards the ground so it very softly touches. And just feel what that feels like. This is kind of scary. We're not putting the legs up. Don't worry about that. This is just to sort of get the base down and to feel, okay, I'm upside down, but I don't have to put all this weight on my head. At my age, I really don't want to stress my spine with something like that. It's probably fine, but that's just how I feel about doing it right now. Some days I do it if I feel particularly good shape, but some days I just go, not doing headstand today. And bring your knees in as close as you can to your body. And now what you're going to do is come up on your toes and just see if you can bring your popo up towards the sky, and then keep that head relaxed and just sort of enjoy that inversion. So we're not really doing headstand, but we're doing headstand. Inhaling deeply through the nostrils and bring the knees back down to the ground. Let's go into child's pose, because that's a pretty intense thing to do. You can do child's pose in a lot of ways. Sometimes I like to do it like this, where you just fold your hands and put your forehead on your hands. Take a moment to recover from that, all that upside down business. And slowly come back up. Wasn't that cool? I love learning something new like that. Let's do it one more time, and just take your time. Or don't do it if you don't feel like doing it. That's what I do as an adult when I'm in a yoga class. I don't feel like doing something. I'll do a variation that looks similar. Like I keep in sync with the class, but I do my version. And, some teachers are very strict, and they want it done at ashtangas like that. They want you to do it in a very strict way. But we have to modify sometimes with our bodies and with our age, and just take care of that. All right, so we're going to do it again. Let's go over what's important, right? You've got to have a triangle that's an isosceles. Don't let your elbows go like this, or you're going to be trying to balance on a very hard to balance triangle. But you're actually thinking of bringing those elbows in, and you're pressing down on the forearms as much as you can, okay? Push down in the elbows, bring your knees forward. This is the part that I think a lot of people don't understand, is this right here. So you can put your head on the ground and now push down in your elbows, and it's almost like you're making this, upside down U shape right here. And I'm really pushing away from the ground. Feel that? And then feel what it feels like to really so it's somewhere kind of in between. I'm still pushing my elbows. My head is not touching the ground, but it's maybe hovering maybe quarter of an inch above the ground. And that's how I do headstand. I try to keep all the weight in my forearms. All right, so pressing into the elbows, bring the knees up, and you're on your toes. And you're going to walk forward as far as you can and let your popo come up over your shoulders, because that's the goal, is to eventually get your popo over your shoulders, because that next part is not so hard when you put the leg up after that, all right? But we're not going to do that. Don't do it. Don't worry. But it's good to do these inversions. It might be a little scary to you. Go ahead and bring the knees down. It's a pretty intense pose, right? And then we'll come back into our modified child's pose, resting the hands on the forehead on the folded hands. Oh, that was a good one. All right, let's slowly come back up. All right, let's take a couple of minutes to do some pranayama to end out our practice today. We're going to do alternate nostril breathing. So what you're going to do, got to make sure my strange leg is in front. I can't wait to that day. I mean, it has happened a couple of times where I just, oh, I got the strange leg in front, and I wasn't thinking about it, so that's kind of cool. All right, so we're going to start inhaling from the right nostril, then closing both nostrils, and then exhaling through the left nostril. Then inhaling through the left, closing both, and then exhaling through the right again. Okay, so here we go. We're going to inhale through the right nostril, close both, exhale through the left nostril. Sitting up very tall, make sure you're lengthening here and the back of the neck, keeping the pipe nice and open, and then inhale through the left, close, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, close, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, close, exhale through the right. Now, did you notice something when you did that? What I noticed is that there's a suspension of, it's kind of like the capillaries, you know, where the blue blood meets the red blood, and there's kind of like a purple area there where it's sort of infusing each other, and then it goes to the other side. And that's kind of what's happening with your breath. There's going to be an inhalation. So when you're closing your nostrils, don't think about like holding your breath, but experiencing the pause. So you're inhaling through the right, close the nostrils now. Noticing the pause. Also the pause on the inhalation after the exhalation. So you're going to exhale. Okay, let's try it again with that in mind, all right? So we're going to start with the right nostril, and you're going to go on your time. I don't want to give you, I'll give you basic directions, but you go on your time if you want to go a little faster or slower. So we're going to inhale from the right. Close the nostrils, feel the pause. Exhale on the left. Feel the pause. Inhaling through the left. Close the nostrils. Pause. Wow, wasn't that great? Why did we do that? We're balancing the two forces that are in the spine, and it's going around all the chakras. So we have the Ida and the Pingala, and they're both circling each other, and they create this force called the Shushumna, which is a very long, strong energy force through your spine. And I really believe that keeping the channels open will help us with our health too. All right, let's bring our hands into Namaskara Mudra, closing the eyes. And I invite you to congratulate yourself or acknowledge yourself, because you've just created an undeniable demonstration of your love for your health and your body. And when you take care of yourself, you can help other people. Rubbing the hands together, heating up the palms, bringing the warm palms over the closed eyes, inhaling deeply through the nostrils. Exhaling deeply through the nostrils, lengthening the spine. Gonna remember this all day. I'm gonna remember to lengthen the back of my neck and lengthen my lower spine. Inhaling one more time. And exhaling as you let your hands come down. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing 30 minutes of your eternal now with me. It was such a pleasure and an honor. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our series. Today was day 14. Tomorrow's day 15 of our, it's 40 meetings because we're doing 8 weeks, 5 days per week. So Monday through Friday, every morning, 6:30 to 7. Please prioritize this time for yourself. Maybe you replay this later, but 30 minutes a day, just for yourself, for your serenity, for your balance, for your health. Why not take care of this beautiful vessel? All right, thank you so much. Enjoy your day. See you tomorrow morning.